It's happening. Radiation.
Welcome everybody to the Dobsonian Power Show. Welcome. I hope you're having a great week. Here we have the radiation that is happening right now on the Van Halen belt. What does that mean? I will explain to you everything, because yes, it can affect our health. Mine and yours. Oh yeah. But Tiago, how's that about the health? You are not a doctor. No, I'm not. However, it's own NASA that says that. I will read that to you as well. Any explorer, if you want to join us, Chris Green, Star Guy, whatever, with live views of the sun, feel free to join. The link is on Discord. It's the same one as the last live stream. We'll update the news about the sun as well, because guess what? The sun is picking up again. Bam! It's picking up again, and we will check it out right now. Welcome Chris, welcome Angela, Miss Honeybee, Funny Doers, Glocks, Trope Media, and Faye. Welcome to the Super Explorer spaceship. Welcome. You are now a Super Explorer. You are a Super Explorer. Yes, this is not only solar radiation, this is a mix of radiation that is trapped into the magnetosphere. They call the Van Halen belt, which traps all those charged particles. Right now, as you can see in these graphics, they are very high right now, and at the same time we are having an increase of the number of sunspots in the sun and the solar coronal hole right in front of us. That means solar wind, and solar wind gets trapped like these particles that are already there, and also boost everything. As you know, the sun always works as a sequence of events that trigger everything on Earth. We'll check that in a moment. We'll check everything. Smash that like button. Bam! That's the way to go. That's the way to go. If you're enjoying the show, remember to give it a like to spread it all over the world. Too much radiation. Okay, I saw at a glance, I saw that proton rain is picking up as well. I don't know if it rose more than it was, but we will check that in a moment as well. Now, GR Astro, thank you, thank you, bam, for being a member for 22 months. Man, that's crazy. Crazy. Thank you so much. Thank you. You are an explorer. Crazy. Okay. This is the forecast. And we can see here, let's start with this graphic. This is the Earth's magnetic field, you see. That, by the way, it's weakening. I don't see anybody talking about that. But I believe that it has some kind of connection with the impacts of the radiation as well, because when the radiation from the sun impacts the Earth, now that our shield, our Earth magnetic field is weaker, no, it's more vulnerable. So the same kind of intensity of, for instance, solar flare or radiation, or coronal mass ejection, which is plasma impacting the Earth's charged particles, as it is weaker now, we are more vulnerable, and the same intensity gets a higher impact. But to be fair, I didn't see anybody talking about that correlation with this, but I'm sure there's some correlation as well with the weakening of our shield, our protector, our magnetic field on Earth, that you can see here at the top. It's all connected, because this is what traps this radiation here. You can see here the satellites around, and okay, when it's blue, it's very soft. We have here the scale, but when it starts to get yellow and red, which is the case, all red here on the graphics, it's very, very high. So that has impacts, and as I'm just a messenger, I will show you what NASA says about it. For the skeptical ones that only believe on institutions, they explain what are the Van Allen belts, which I told you already. It was discovered on 1958 by Van Allen on Iowa University, and he discovered that we have a bunch of charged particles trapped into our magnetosphere, so our protector. And they say here, and I want to draw the attention to this, they are worried about going to Mars, of course. They need to understand very well this, because we are explorers on Earth. And as they say here, the Earth's magnetosphere traps the high energy radiation particles and shields the Earth from the solar storms and the constantly streaming solar wind that can damage technology as well as people living on Earth. I want to draw the attention to this. The solar wind and the solar storms, the constantly streaming solar wind that can damage technology, which we talk about here a lot, as well as people living on Earth. Do I understand well the English here? It can damage technology, so it can damage satellites, radio communications, the usual that we call and draw the attention here towards, about the impacts of the solar activity on Earth. And they say, I quote, as well as people living on Earth. Do I understand this very well? People living on Earth. That means me and you. So, it can damage people living on Earth. This is NASA talking, this is not me and not any random people on social networks. To take into account. Bam! Thank you, funny doors. Thank you. That gives me good vibes. Bam! By the way, I don't know if a side note. this radiation stuff, this solar activity at maximum, often people ask me, but Tiago, in the comments on YouTube or whatever, but Tiago, you're talking about earthquakes and the sun and the correlation, but Tiago, isn't the sun calm right now? Well, let me tell you that it's not only the existence of solar flares or coronal mass ejections that impact the Earth, okay? The radiation as well, the proton rains as well, this as well, for instance, this is a good example of it. This radiation that it's all making pressure, all trapped around us, around our planet, making pressure. This also impacts, as they said, the digital communications, everything, and people living on Earth, as they said. So many studies, many studies talked about that and have evidence about that correlation with the solar activity and the earthquakes and the health of humans. The more I study, the more I research, the more I validate that from different scientists all over the world. Weirdly, most of them, 99% of them, are from every country of the world except Europe and United States. There are some, but most studies, I don't know why, I leave that up to you to think about. Why it's from China, from Japan, from Australia, from India, from Eastern Europe, but you know, close to Russia, from South America. Most of the studies have scientists from those regions for some reason. That will be a good scientific paper as well to study that correlation. Thank you, Christina. Thank you so much for being member for 2 months. Bam! Thank you, Christina, for being an explorer in our spaceship. You are an explorer. Thank you so much. Miss Honeybee, I hope your daddy is doing much better. This has a correlation. That's why I was talking about this. And then we have those solar impacts on Earth, and the sun is at the maximum. It's not a single day. Besides, there are studies that they correlate, like there's an impact, a huge impact, and then the earthquakes occur a few days later. So you see, and a few days later you may not have anything. You may have anything happen in the sun right at the moment of the earthquake. It depends. Solar flares are quick to act, as they did during the Vietnam War with the undersea bombs that exploded in a row, thousands of them, triggered by a solar flare, a solar event, which was a huge solar flare, and that's documented. I read that to you as well. The thing is, this affects our health. My dad, after the planetary alignment, went to the hospital with heart failure. Heart failure. And what could I say more? He's a man from the system. I mean, for a long time I've been telling my dad, look, I study the sun. I know that you don't see this on television. You only watch television. But believe me, if you do a bit more exercise, you don't need to do a lot of exercise to be crazy. Go to the gym. Do some exercise at home to counteract this pressure that we have in our bodies, in our biology, you know. And do some grounding as well. Nothing. At least walk a bit on the beach or something. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. The doctors, he was at the hospital for a long time. and the doctors found the problem, but not the origin. They don't know. Oh, maybe it's genetic. I have nobody in the family with that problem. Severe heart failure. I don't know, man. I can't tell, but if it has something to be with that. But I'm sure that common sense says that somebody that it's very old and make an effort to do some exercise instead of none, and instead of being only at the bed watching television, which is bad for the mind and bad for the soul and bad for the body as well. No exercise, watching television, eating bad, and not doing simple things of life, simple exercises that can keep you on a high level of good vibe, good energy, and health. It's what I do. I do more during the summer, but it's what I do. I'm very happy right now because he left the hospital. But what can I tell? To my dad? Dad, be aware of about the sun. He laugh at me when I talk about these things. So I just don't talk. I talk with you that you understand and you are aware of many things, not only the sun, that affects our body, our souls. That said, we move on, but it is what it is. Thank you.
If you're enjoying the show, remember to give it a like to spread it all over the world.
Man, I just had a big earthquake, very unusual too, actually. 5.6 here in Portugal. It was in Azores. It's a region, some islands that we have in front of the coast, and they are volcanic. And we had 5.6 as well. By the way, let me connect my earthquake monitor. Connecting earthquake monitor. Trying to connect. Trying to connect. Error. Well, I can't right now, probably because I have a bunch of stuff. You see the graphic here? Very, very height. Very, very height. Yeah, Jessica. And I don't talk about this with anybody. They call me crazy and sometimes doctors don't have the answer because they don't have those ingredients as well. They don't add because they strictly follow the books. And if you only follow the book, you have no... Sometimes we find doctors, I go to doctors a lot, of course, and sometimes some of them pick common sense and they explain certain things that we can do that are not on the books. Those usually are the open-minded doctors, and those are the best ones. Those are the ones that you should stick with when possible. Yes, but the problem is I'm not living with him. He lives... I will visit him. In a few days. I will fly there. But my sister, I pressured my sister. She's not in my frequency as well, but she's younger, and I said to her to walk with him, and he will be in an health care center, so the nurses will do that for us as well because he's very, very old. Yes, and you probably will feel more. Me as well. You're not alone. You're not alone. I'm feeling much better. And I want to tell you something, because the schools don't talk about this. They don't talk to me this during all these years at school and university. And they only talk about the things in the books. And they miss that. Things like this. Well, things like what are we doing here? Who am I? Who are you? What are we doing here? Why are we here? They don't have that answers, no? In the books, they don't pull they don't push our minds to think about that, just to absorb information and release later. However, this is a nice thing, probably most of you know, I don't know. One of the problems I had these days was that I was always waking up and going to sleep thinking about what can happen with my dad, how will he going to survive, and I'm sure you can relate with other relatives that you had or you have. Everybody has a moment in our lives that we are thinking and worried about other people close to us. No, that's human. But what made me be aware completely at a glance that everything was better with me was after I knew that he was going to leave the hospital. That was a relief, so I felt the relief. No, relief is good. I start getting more active here, working on the background on YouTube as well, and in my main business as well. But one characteristic, and that you can try that tomorrow morning and check that. It's very funny and very, very important. Tomorrow morning, when you wake up at bed, remember my words. What is the first thing that comes to your mind? Because if you notice, when you wake up, the first thing or things that come to your mind are usually the things that you are more worried about in your life, or things that you are anxious about, good things, you have something, I don't know, something, a party or whatever, something very important event. Well, you were awake, but after sleeping. You will sleep sooner or later because your brain will disconnect. You can't be awake for a long time. Your brain disconnects. It has some kind of switch. But remember, what is the first thing that when the moment you wake up from your dream or whatever it is, that it's another thing that they can't explain to us? What is dreaming? Is it another world? Is it whatever, a multi-universe that we are living? Whatever. Thank you, Meredith. Thank you. Bam! For your super sticker.
Super shot.
Thank you. Go! Bam! What is the dream? Nobody knows. Neurosurgeons or neuroscientists, they don't know. They just don't know. I'm sorry for that, Tracy. The first thing, all these freaking days, I was thinking, the moment I wake up, then I think in more stuff. But the first thing was my dad. Okay? What's happening with my dad? It was my passage from the dream world to the reality, or whatever it is, to my reality, to my consciousness, I don't know, this reality. It was always, all the days, my dad, then the other stuff, business and whatever. But first my dad. And today, it was the first time that I woke up and the first thing I thought, it was something about YouTube, something that Chris Green and Stargate knows about, and the moderators, because I was talking about that yesterday at night. So it was about YouTube stuff that I'm doing. And the first thing that I thought when I woke up was that YouTube stuff. That good thinking, well, I can do this and that. You know, some solution that during the night, for some reason, it came up, and when I woke up, magically the solution came to my mind. I don't know why. Sometimes happen. But it was the first time. Immediately after that, I thought, well, I'm not thinking, because I thought about my dad after. I'm not thinking in my that problem for the first time. In the first place, I'm feeling much better. And it was like, you know, it all changed. It all changed, my mindset, my frequency, and we can get these impacts from external impacts like the radiation and whatever. We can take them very much better than if we are down in a bad space. Another thing, I'm very mystical right now. Another thing very important. I usually tell that I do that so often, and it's so important. You create your own reality. I'm always telling this to my kids, trying to, because it's a bit complicated. You create your own reality. Before the stream, if I come here with a mindset, I always come with a mindset, a positive one. That's why I'm so energetic. But if I was someone that before the stream, I start thinking, oh, nobody will be there, or they will insult me a lot, or I don't speak English very well, I'm thirsty, I don't know what to talk about, I may fail. If I keep doing that before every live stream, I come to the live stream and the chances that I will fail and it will be a bad moment to me, and then to you as well, are very high. But I do this in all my life. I create my reality in my brain, and you should do the same. You have something. You have fear. You have to fight the fear. Everybody has fear. You have to fight the fear for whatever reason. You have something. If you trick your brain to... You can trick your brain to think that you will overcome that, whether it's a sport, whether it's something at school or university, whether it's in your job, something very important that you have fear to fail and be fired, for instance, whether it's someone that you don't see for a long time, you don't know if it will be all right, whatever it is. You create with your imagination that you have as human, as I have, you create the reality, that the future reality that you expect to be positive. Exactly, Tracy. To be positive. You think positive, but you have to delete everything, to bury everything that is negative. You don't want to know if you will fall or whatever. You want to see you and imagine you with all the details. If you have to write, you write it with all the details in your brain, seeing you as a winner. You will win. Whatever it is that to overcome, you will overcome that. You will win. And your brain, and this is science, your brain will be tricked and will understand and interpret that trick that you are forming in your brain, because you are forming all of that imagination. It's created inside your head, in your brain. You trick your brain, and your brain will believe that's the reality. Because remember, the reality that you are watching right now with me, it's our perception. It's not a reality is like matrix, it's quantum physics. No, it's all atoms and subatomic particles and whatever more. So we interpret the reality as humans, and you can trick your brain. You can. This is so good, so cool, man, and it works. You can. Yeah, you can trick your brain, trick yourself, create your reality. I will win. I will act like this and that. These people will be there, and I will tell this, and I will do this, and I will do that, and you see the walls of your environment. You see you walking through that. This is not crazy. This is not like taking mushrooms or whatever. It's science. You go there and you create all of this. The more you do this, the more when you get closer to the event, if there's some days every day you do like this to your brain. And that will put you in a place that you have super high chances for that reality that you created to become a fact. Bam! Picture yourself living the life you want to be living in. Exactly that. Exactly that. Because the system tricks you. The system don't want you to think a lot, then to grow. They want you to be at a certain level, no? But that's a power within you that you have, and the system is trying to hide it from you. From the programming. Maybe. I don't know what it is. If we are all information in universe, I don't have freaking idea. Probably. To break the matrix. Of course, team. The same thoughts, Jessica. Nice, man. Nice. That's so cool, man. Funny doors. About your diet, I'm not sure about the diets. There are different diets. It's good to have a diet. But look, I will tell you something. There was a kid that belongs to a family here. Foreign family. We have loads of foreign people here. And the kid, and they are vegs, and they just don't eat any meat. And the kid was starting to get very white, very weak, and the doctors can't find any problem. The scans, the analysis, everything, the tests, nothing. And one of the doctors, thankfully, said to the parents, look, your kid needs to eat some meat. And the diet that the doctor gave to that kid, which now is strict, and it had results, this was a while ago, included meat because of the iron and whatever reasons. And the thing is, it worked. So be careful excluding things like that. Let me check the chat because I have something here. Where is it? And then we move on to the sun. Thank you, Quasar, for gifting 10 Dobsonian Power memberships. Welcome everybody to the spaceship. You are an explorer. Thank you. Of course, write that to be. Write that. Write that, Jose Navarro. Your superpower. Bam! Everybody, every explorer will activate. Activating superpower. Because change is coming. The blood moon is coming. The earth full of radiation. A lot. It doesn't work with my dad. It doesn't work with people that because we talk with them and they understand kind of, but then they connect the cables again. They are wired to the television narrative and they connect it later, the wires again, and it's like magic, man. I don't know how they do that because I'm very out of the box. I don't know how they do that they can manipulate you. And we have somebody here with a spaceship.
Spaceship approaching, please identify. Okay, Star Guy. Welcome, Star Guy. You can dock your spaceship. Docking Star Guy spaceship.
BAM! The sun, the King Sun.
The King Sun.
In real time, exploding. Picking up again to 2025, the year of change. With a blood moon coming, aligned with the earth and the sun. BAM! Welcome, Star Guy. From Florida. The Bayo Man. Did you know that he speaks with, he whispers to the alligators? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You like to talk about food. I like to be balanced. I eat loads of crap, I assume, but I try to get a balance. And I wish I could only eat things that I grow up here. Okay, Star Guy, copy that.
Copy information, Star Guy. Please proceed with the King Sun.
Yeah, Tracy. It's life, man. It's life. Is check here? Oh yes, I thought I couldn't see your messages. Yeah. And insects. And insects. Now I don't know if they will say pure insects. They are alive, no? They are living beings as well. And the plants as well. No? That's a nice thing to do. That's a very nice thing to do. And you have double advantage, because double benefits. Because you not only are caring about your health, avoiding all the chemicals that they put to grow everything and to deliver us beautiful food nowadays, but also you are getting resources in case of a catastrophe. And believe me, a catastrophe is only a matter of time on Earth. It's only a matter of time. And we don't need to have a dinosaur catastrophe. We can have a catastrophe just for the fact of being with a world blackout, for instance. That will be a catastrophe nowadays, that we are so dependent on technology. Not for Egyptians, or maybe, but not for other civilizations that didn't use electronics. But our civilization, we are so dependent on electronics that would be a catastrophe. Remember, 2020, we were at home, but with all the digital connections. It's different. Look, Medusa, to the temperature to drop 1 degree, it's as simple as a massive volcano. For instance, Krakatoa. When Krakatoa, you have a nice video about the story of Krakatoa in the channel. Krakatoa, when Krakatoa had that huge explosion in the past, the temperatures on Earth all dropped around 1 degree, and it was only one volcano. Now imagine if there's more. Let me see if I can connect to the earthquakes monitor. I should have connected before the stream. Now it's struggling to get the connection. Yeah. Now we will analyze the sun. Let me just check this. Oh, what was that? Star Guy. We lost Star Guy. I'm trying to connect this. Hold on. No, it's not connecting. Okay, let's connect. Oh, it connected. Bam! 5.7. Oh, God.
It's happening. 5.7 again.
Man. It just connected. I was being impatient. 5.7 on Indonesia. The Ring of Fire. Santorini 2.8, and another one again on near Greenland, 3.3 this time. Okay, nothing in United States. Watch my video. My last video is about that Mount Spur on Alaska. I start with, it's the story of the latest great explosion there, but at the beginning of the video, you have all the scientific information that validates what's happening right now there. They are noticing a lot of earthquakes happening more and more and more and more and more, and they think it will explode sooner than later. They didn't tell if it will be this year or not, though. I think they don't know. They don't know. They just don't know. Yeah, I like to tell the story of those events, but also to give you further information about what's happening right now, because right now we are having huge activity of earthquakes, and it matches the the solar maximum period that we are living. Remember, we are living the solar maximum, as you can see here. This is a solar cycle right now, the progression, and you can see here there was a first peak. I bet we will have a second one, but many people is saying no, it's over, the solar maximum peaked already. I'm not sure about that. I don't dare to tell something like that, not knowing. No scientist can predict that. How can you tell with such a certain speech that you have that it's over? We don't know yet, because there are not signs of it yet, strong ones at least. And these measures, this is the solar maximum. How do they know this is the peak or one of them? Because it's measured by the quantity of solar sunspots. The sunspots are what they measure here to define if we are at the lower of the lowest of the cycle or at the maximum. Right now we are leaving the maximum. You can see this red line, it's the forecast, and we are above the forecast, and the gray area, it's the error margin, so it can go a bit up or a bit down, but it exceeded the expectations and the forecast. So we are above the expectations for the period. I think yes, Laura. I think like you. I think that all this radiation, it's energy that we can take it the best we can as humans and turn it into something very positive. It's like using energy for good or for bad. If you use it for good, you are in the right path. I think like that. Not only with the radiation, but with all energy that surrounds us. We are energy, no? Bye, Shauna. Look, it can be. Look, for instance, migraines. Migraines can have different sources, but sometimes we can't identify anything. It comes from nothing. Sometimes it's just stress. Stress is poison to your soul and your body. But sometimes you are not stressful, you are not living anything weird, and it just came up. Sometimes you have, like I'm having right now, thunderstorms, and they are the origin of some migraines in many people. But sometimes it's the sun. And articulations, you know very well that articulations are very sensitive to the weather. No? And space weather as well. The thing is, until now, we have only on the equation of our articulations problems, the weather. I remember my grandmother and even my great-grandmother. I knew her when I was a kid, and they always talked about the weather impact on their bones and whatever. So that's a fact, because everybody talked about that for a long time. But they never talked about the impacts of the sun because we simply didn't know. Remember that the sun, the first image of the sun, was in 1972 only. We didn't understand. We had a huge blackout a massive blackout on Canada, Ontario, on 1989. On 1989, there was a massive blackout, power grids down, they didn't know what happened. A few years later, they discovered that it was the sun. And that's documented. So, but that moment in time, back that time, they didn't know what was the cause. And I believe that we are living something like that with our bones and things. Because we think, well, but it's not thunderstorms now, but might be the sun. I believe that we will have more and more validation about that, and eventually mainstream science will pick it up and start taking it seriously. Because it's not that they don't take it seriously, it's that they have other priorities. They have other priorities right now. The priorities are other stuff. But when more and more and more, it's always like that. More and more people and credible people, scientists, that are showing in peer papers that it's like this, it's like this, it's like this. More and more, they will eventually pick it up and start to study in a different way. And at the same time, we are getting more instruments, and I will show you a very interesting thing right now that we humans did yesterday. A very interesting, more information from the sun itself, that we have very few information. And we have Starguy back on track.
Talking Starguy.
There we go. Yes, Tracy, can affect satellites because we are having... Let me connect to the sun.
Connecting to another spacecraft.
Meanwhile, we have Starguy in the house. Yes, Lilith, avoid that speech because algos don't like. Yes, Lilith, he's right. Algos don't like that. That and other stuff as well. And I believe that you like me and this community, and you don't want this channel to be shut down, no? And get hit. And you have to understand, the ones that don't, that YouTube is not... This is not a democracy. This is a private company that I use. I accepted their terms to use it, and I have to play their game. It's not my platform. If it was my platform, I will be speaking a big difference from what I speak here. That's why sometimes we can't talk about certain things. Hold on. So this is a massive protuberance in the right side of the sun in real time. All right. Now let's connect this. Now let me show you first what's happening with the sun right now. Look, it was very calm. This is one day, yesterday, and today. So 3 days. And you can see these spikes here. This is the M level. Look, the X level, it's clean. We didn't have any X flare. Why? Because we didn't have any important activity from a few solar spots. However, we are getting more sunspots, and now we are having more. The sun is picking up. We are having more. Look, M flare, M, yesterday, today, M. So the sun is picking up. The sun right now is starting to get these spikes of more intense flares. This is one thing that I wanted to show you. Another thing, it's the proton rain. It was peaking here, but it came down again. So protons, it's another kind of radiation, okay? That comes from the sun in a wide area and impacts all the Earth. Let's see another thing. Solar wind, when this red wave is below this dashed line here, it boosts everything that impacts the Earth, okay? So it's down right now, so everything that impacts the Earth, it's boosted. The speed is increasing. This is about the solar wind that we are having right now. You see, the speed is increasing. Usually, on average, the solar wind has, on average, 500 kilometers per second. So it's here. We are having solar wind at an average speed, and now it's increasing. It increased here to almost 600. So we have a spike in everything here as well. This is when the solar flares impact the Earth. This becomes yellow and red. No solar flare, no yellow, no red. Off radiation. This is radiation. A single shot of radiation to the Earth. Let's see this one as well. This is the magnetosphere of the Earth. This is the Earth. The sun is at the left. And we are having this solar wind impacting the Earth. Man, this is crazy. Bam! You see the red areas? Bam! This is for tonight. The forecast. We will keep having this impact. The blue regions, it means that it's speed to the left. So it's doing something here. It's called a magnetic reconnection. The charged particles play with the magnetic field of the Earth and come to the Earth from the back of the Earth. Very interesting. And now let me show you something before going to the spacecraft while it's updating. That's another thing, Duff. That's another thing that we can sense. Don't you notice people get more angry, spreading more hate? They get bad energies. They get unease, irritated. anxious, and, as you said, act irrationally. These periods, if you know how to play these periods of change, of the planetary alignments, of the blood moon, of the solar activity, everything that surrounds us that people don't notice because they are on their own world, own bubble, and they don't care about what's happening in the universe that impacts us. They don't care about it. They just don't know. It's not on TV. They don't know. And they don't know why they act like that, but they act. No? Don't you notice that? Not you, not you. Not you, because you are aware. Awareness. It's all about awareness. Let me show you something very interesting. Okay. There's something that just happened, and it has to be with the sun. I want to draw the attention. It's a quick information. So NASA just launched 2 missions to study the sun and the universe. The universe is beginning. So, something that we want to know. When and where and how did the universe begin? We have some clues, but I'm not sure if they are right about that. It's all that we have right now, but I'm sure science will change for the future with different hypotheses, because we are getting weird information from James Webb, and the more instruments, the more information breaks all that is already validated. Kind of validated. So they have the mission Sphere X, that it's this mission. This is the first mission. It was launched yesterday. 2 missions. They launched this, and they launched also the Punch mission. This is 4 satellites here that work in a team to study the sun, our sun. Look, they are on the Terminator. The Terminator is where they belong right now. The Terminator, do you know when you look at the moon and it's half moon, and you see that black one side and white because of the light the other side? Earthquake. 4.9. Alaska. Man, it was my video. No, it's Alaska, but it's at the north. My video was... this is 4.9. My video was about the region. On Anchorage, it's here. The Mount Spur, it's here. This is full of volcanic activity. Here. All this region. This was at the north, but it's 4.9. It's a big one. To keep monitoring. Do you know the moon? You see the darkness and the brightness. That line that you see at the middle, it's called the Terminator. Are you saying they caused this? Not me. These satellites will live there in the Terminator. Kind of hide it from the sun so they can, one of them, the Sphere X, study the universe, and the other one, the Punch, to study the sun. It will give more information to us about the sun, much more, and at the same time they will study the solar system, stuff in the solar system. The first one for the universe has a goal: to find life. To find life, which is incredible. And I want to draw the attention to this, blah blah blah, the mission, the techniques, and they say here. Where are you? Different countries involved. Okay, this is it. Okay, these missions are also to answer the questions like, and I quote, it's not me. How did we get here? And are we alone? Those questions have been asked by humans for all of the history, says James Fanson, the project manager. I think it's incredible that we are alive at a time when we have the scientific tools to actually start to answer those questions. Amazing, amazing. And now, they say also here, this is Craig DeForest, it's the other mission for the Sun, the Punch mission, with the 4 satellites. And I quote, the space between planets, it's not an empty void. It's full of turbulent solar wind that washes over the Earth. And this is the important one. This. The mission... listen carefully. The mission will explore the formation and evolution of space weather events, such as coronal mass ejections, which can create storms of energetic particle, radiation, and now the important part, that can endanger spacecraft and astronauts. But most important, it's below. The Punch mission is designed to answer basic questions about how stars like our Sun,
the King's Sun,
produce stellar winds and how they give rise to dangerous space weather events right here on Earth. Hold on. Weren't people saying that space weather and solar events are not dangerous? Why is Craig DeForest, the mission's principal investigator at the Southwest Research Institute, saying how those solar events give rise to dangerous space weather events right here on Earth? It's not me, the messenger, that is saying that solar events are dangerous. Once again, not on television, but hide it between the lines. They said it give rise to dangerous space weather events right here on Earth. I'm sorry, people. Right now, in this moment of time, if the people that is still underestimated the solar activity and space weather impacts on Earth, they are simply negationists. If this doesn't convince you, apart from everything that we study here, and more people as well. That's a good point, Luis. If you understand what the heck is happening in their minds, you will easily reach the conclusion that it's always the same. Not you and me, but that. Unfortunately. However, as I'm positive, I think, although the goal is not me and you, what me and you want, although the main goal is not that one, there are more people that think like us, infiltrated there, that will make sure that other sub-goals will be reached at the same time. I mean, you go to a place because you have a goal in that place and you take people with you that doesn't have that goal, but will take the ride to reach other goals, which are the important ones for humans. If you know what I mean.
The King's Son. The sunspots.
And there we go. This is the last view. Let it update. From the sunspots. From almost nothing in the last weeks. I told you in a few weeks we will have more sunspots coming, because we saw, me and you, we saw at the far side that those black, I remember it, they were about 6 regions spread there in the far side. That means something, and they're here. They're starting to pop up right now. This was 2 days ago. But they are evolving. Let's see. Let's check the evolution. Yeah, Daphne. Yeah, Luis. I knew you know what I mean. Yeah, that's true. Iris, that's completely true. Because back that time, the quarantine event, we only had the telegraph. That's all. That was all. But nowadays, with smartphones, can you imagine those kids? Where's my smartphone? They're all addicted to smartphones. People addicted to television. We, with the digital world, computers, everything, laptops, smartphones as well. We will be thrown to the Stone Age. That will be funny to see. Especially after having so many studies, I wonder if there's any correlation. I don't know, man. This is only speculation. But I wonder if there's any correlation with the fact of most of those studies. I wish people that understand more this topic could explain that. .7 on United States. United States, they're coming to you. They're taking over United States. 2.7 and 2.6 on California. California, here I go. I wonder if there's any correlation with the fact of all those studies, and there are many, man. I read loads of studies about the correlation with the sun and the earthquakes, the human health, different stuff. And they are mostly from countries that are not on Europe, at least the Western Europe, and like the most important countries, and United States of America. I wonder why, man. Why is that? Most studies, I check the scientists' names, and they are most of them are from different countries all over the world, important countries. I don't know. Weird world. West Coast, yes. 2.7, 2.6.
It's happening.
Well, they are low. Right, that. Not only like childs, like ignorance. They treat us like ignorance. And they are starting something very dangerous to us, making us believe also, in addition to all that we have already, that you and me are responsible for the issues with the core of the earth, and you just wait. You just wait. Wait and see. Yeah. But look, Tracy, it's up to me and you here to keep our minds, to keep our awareness, to keep us healthy, mentally, especially mentally and physically as well, to deal with that. We can deal with that. And you know that we joke with the stuff that will happen as well. It's happening already. We joke, we can't be with direct words and hit them here, but we can be aware, and at least you know that you are not alone in that. At least that. Because it's crazy. I can imagine people that it's thinking like us, but they don't access information or other people opinions because they are, you know, they are not exposed, and they start thinking, well, maybe it's me that I'm crazy. Maybe those guys, all those guys, important guys that have that narrative on television, maybe they are right, and that's a danger. We are here to rescue you from that trap. It's a trap. Disconnect. Leave the matrix. Bam! Come on, we have already Star Guy in the house. Bam!
With the King's Son.
The King's Son. Where's Chris? Chris, where are you? Not with a telescope today, Chris. I heard that now that the polar vortex split and it's coming bad weather, it's already there to Europe and to United States, and I was checking the weather for tomorrow. You know why? Star Guy. And I saw that Texas and Florida, bam, will escape to that bad weather. Extreme cold as well. And floods everywhere. Spring, spring, we want you. Please come quickly. That's the left side of the sun. Let's check the sunspots. Actually, they are not evolving. Let me see. Too much. Let's see. Not very complex. But they are many. Now, the solar cycle graphic that I showed you will rise again because of these guys here. Well, this one has potential. Look. From nothing, bam! You saw this region here? Look. A single sunspot and then bam! They rose from the deepest of the sun with magnetic fields that do the loops. Here. This is all about magnetic fields. You see? Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hold on. First. Thank you, Kelly. Thank you. Hold on. First, Kelly. Thank you. Kelly Miller for becoming, my God, it's not an explorer. It's not a super explorer. It's an ultra explorer. You are an ultra explorer. Welcome to the Ultra Explorer spaceship, the higher tier. Only the best ones, only the chosen are there. Thank you very much. And we have here... By the way, the Explorers... You know that with this thing with my dad, I was a bit drained of energy. But I have here prepared something very interesting. Well, it's a bit... I can't show it here. So I will show you the debate just to discuss with you. On the members only, the secret chamber. The secret chamber. On the secret chamber for members only. All the members, all the explorers, everything. And soon I will do a live stream about that now that I'm with more energy again. And thank you, Kelly Miller, for your biggest super chat of the day. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Super shot.
Thank you for your kind support. It helps a lot, this project. It gives me steam. It's true. Okay, let's connect Star Guy again. He's here with us. While I search... Well, not much evolution on the sunspots. We have evolution on the quantity, but the quality, it's below my expectations right now. But they are turning around and they will be in front of us soon. I never underestimate the sun because for a long time we do these live streams and we saw here sunspots that look like something very tiny and harmless, and they sent strong coronal mass ejection, so plasma into the Earth. And even we had situations of coronal mass ejections, geomagnetic storms, which is the result of the impact on Earth of the coronal mass ejection, that plasma, bam! And we have those auroras and those charged particles on Earth from nothing. We had in the past from nothing, from absolutely nothing. No one saw them, not me, not the others, not NASA, not anybody. And we have an earthquake. 3.0 on Cuba. Cuba, it's dangerous because Cuba has a very deficient, very weak power grid network. Those countries are the first ones to suffer massive blackouts. Tourists complain. What is the big C, Ripple? I see some spirals with the two polarities. Is that normal? It depends on the evolution. No. Right now, let me tell you. Okay, Starguy, thank you very much, Starguy, for being here with us. Starguy is abandoning the mothership, and it will go to treat their business, his business. Good luck on that, Starguy. Thank you very much for being here from Florida, Starguy, the Bayoman. Thank you so much, Starguy.
And docking, Starguy. Thank you, Starguy. See you soon.
Always very nice to have the explorers here. Remember, the explorers have this benefit. Doesn't matter the level of explorer. If you have a telescope and you want to join us, you can. Something that we do here, and it's unique. Now, is this a level of blowing up the power grid and disrupting internet? No. Right now, no. Right now, in this moment in time that we are speaking, no. But it can reach that level. It all depends on the evolution of everything. Usually it's a sequence of events. Right now, as I showed you, you have the Van Allen belt trapping loads of charged particles, right? My connection. Loads of charged particles here around the Earth. That adds to the equation. We have a coronal hole. Let's check the coronal hole. Time to check the coronal hole. Because the solar wind has impact on this. To watch the coronal hole, we use a different layer. From this, we take off the sunspots and we pull this one. That shows us the coronal holes much better. Let it update first. Okay, we have two. The other one, the third one, it's already in the departing region. And we have these two coronal holes with this region here. The region seems calm, but it's not so calm. We have here a filament that Starguy was showing us. We saw the left side. It's called the limb, the edge of the sun. It's the limb. And we saw this on Starguy image. It's a filament that comes up here, away here, here. But we saw this. With the telescopes, we can capture them at the edge, at the limb. And we have more coming. We have more coming. An explosion here. We had them flares here. Okay, the sunspots are picking up. The activity is picking up. I'm waiting for more. Then, as I was talking, a sequence of events. We have that radiation that it's full of charged particles around the Earth, trapped in the Van Allen belt. We have this solar wind flowing right now and impacting the Earth. This is impacting the Earth right now. And we have filaments exploding and sunspots that can explode with M flares, X flares as well. That will depend on the intensity of the events. If suddenly the sun wake up and start having different events and coronal mass ejections, strong ones, hitting the Earth, with all this radiation already there, with all the flow of solar wind already impacting, it will boost everything, you know? If that happens, we will be here streaming. Even that I'm not at home, I will stream. If something very important happens, I will warn you. And I will monitor closely. Okay? So don't worry about that. You notice the live streams when that happens. When it was on early May, it was crazy, man. You were warned about early May events before they happen. Thank you, Kathy. Yes, many people share with relatives. That's why we are family friendly here. But it's good for the kids to start listening a different communication apart from the main narrative. It's a good complement to make them think when they are receiving the flow of information every day on schools, on the school. It's good to have a different perspective as well, and then ask home at the parents, and the parents explain with a different perspective. Not only that, a wider view. It's very healthy for the kids nowadays, especially. Thank you, Starguy, for your super chat. More solar power to our explorers, members and guests. Bam! Bam, 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 and bam! Thank you so much, Starguy. Starguy left the spaceship and threw a super chat to the community. Thank you so much.
Super shot.
Thank you.
You are an ultra explorer.
See, Kelly, Starguy is also a super explorer. Thank you. He's boiling mad. Yeah. It looks like an angry face, yes, the sun. So, this is exploding, but not as we expect. Now let's see the limb here, the incoming region, from a different perspective, because it can show us more stuff. Let it update. Okay. Yeah, we can see loads of activity again. We saw that activity similar in the last live stream a while ago, and that was this region that now it's here. So we still have more. We can see the explosion here. Look at this. We still have more to come. All right. Look. Bam! Bam! You saw this explosion here? Where is it? Here. Look at this. Bam! This is massive. The Earth is just a little dot here. A small region like this. And here at the top as well, look at this. Full of loops of plasma. These are magnetic fields that make a loop inside the sun and over the sun as well. And they have plasma stuck there. You know that the sun is mainly hydrogen, then helium, then other stuff. Okay, now let's check the far side to see what's coming. Oh, we have more, yes. Yes, we have more. An earthquake. 4.5. Where was it? Again on the Ring of Fire. Here. So we have more. This is the front side of the sun. You can see the sunspots that we have been watching here. And these black regions here mean trouble as well. So it's not over. Remember, the solar cycle, it's increasing because we have the solar cycle maximum, because they count the number of sunspots. They are increasing again. So I expect in the coming weeks that these that we have on the cycle, the solar cycle right now, the progression, these are the number of sunspots. I expect they came back here, and I expect them to pick up again and probably, I don't know, to blow up this level, the maximum that we had already. We don't know, nobody knows, and nobody can predict that. It's the King's Sun. Okay, so we should be cautious. Let's see the electricity in United States. On the ground. You know that United States and Canada measure the electricity on the ground. It's amazing. Let's see if it comes from the blue to the yellow and red. The electricity on the ground. Well, some yellow here. Orange as well. But mainly blue all over the United States. Well, we can see some increase here. You see the effect already? We can see some increase already. And there's no magnetic geomagnetic storm from coronal mass ejections. You see this yellow here and the blue turning from dark blue to cyan. You see? This measures, this is Canada and this is United States. This measure the electricity on the ground because the charged particles from the sun reach the ground. That's why they have the studies where they trigger earthquakes mainly at the near the surface of the crust, you see. It's very interesting. No fear, no fear. I don't know, Luis. The flow of the electricity, well, they go where electricity goes where there's conductivity. No. Let's see if we have power outages on United States. No power outages today, right now at this moment in time. And let's see if we have any prediction from... There's no coronal mass ejection right now. That's why, well, we had some from the M flares, but very low. And probably nothing here, yes. So, no coronal mass ejections on the way. But remember, there can be events not from coronal mass ejections, but from all the things that are happening. A coronal mass ejection will be just a complement or a trigger. Okay, with this, I think that's all covered. Thank you very much for all your support. Thank you to the moderators. Yes, frequency. It's all about frequency. Frequency is a nice thing to explore. Have a good frequency. Stay there on the good frequency. And I'll see you in the next live stream or video. Thank you. Thank you. Have an awesome rest of the day.